Hello, everyone. Let's carry on. Lovely to see you all this afternoon when we did numbers 9 and 10 with Kossus and the Spolia Opima. Let's press on, however, with the Aeneid. I'm recording this one. I realise I haven't done the last 50 lines, but I'm going to record this one in preparation for tomorrow's lesson because you are going to hopefully, be frantically trying to get through it, so this might help you. Amongst these things, inter haec, amongst these scenes, there flowed. Ebat, there was going, but there was flowing, wide, the likeness or the image of the maris, of the sea, of the swelling sea, of the Tumidi sea, the swelling sea, golden. But the blue water, Tuckfield talks about how spuma bat, but most editors amend this to the plural to make kairula the subject. So here then, the kairula, the sky blue, i.e. the sky blue, but the sky blue of the water foamed, spuma bat was foaming, the sky blue waters were foaming with the kano, with the white waves, and around Kirkum, around it in a ring, Kirkum in orbem, and around it in a ring again. Tuckfield talks about how the shield is round and therefore it encircles the lion, the dolphin, symbolizing the extent of the empire it talks about there. And round all this, the dolphins, shining, clari, in silver, swept the seas, verebant, iquora, swept the seas with their caudis, with their tails. It's a beautiful image. Swept the seas with their tails, and secabant, and cleft, and cut, or cleft the aistum, cut the tide. In medio, in the middle, it was possible to see. In the middle, you could see the Bronze Fleet. The Battle of Actium, Actia Bella, the Battle of Actium. You could see Videres, all lucate, glowing, with war drawn up, Marte metonymy there. You could see totum, all lucate, with war drawn up, and the waves blazing, and the flutus, and the waves fulgere, blazing, auro, with gold. Such an important bit to make sure you know all of this bit with Actium in terms of the storyline, in terms of the importance of the Battle of Actium to the poem, this sort of turning point, the point that we are leading up to, this point of sort of Roman, Virgilian, Aeneas's identity. Hinc Augustus. Here on one side, Augustus Caesar stands. You've got to go all the way down, stands. Here, Augustus, Caesar, encompassing the line. Here, Augustus Caesar, standing high up on the stern, leading the Italians into their battles with think of the SPQR, with the fathers and with the people, with the Senate and with the people, with the Penates, and with the mighty gods, with the Magnis Dis. His lighter, his auspicious tempora, his auspicious brows, shoot forth in a double flame, shoot forth in twin flames. Vomit shoot forth in twin flames. His auspicious brows shoot forth, not in twin, shoot forth twin flames, and on his head there dawns, and upon his head, vertice, there appears the star of his father's star. In another part, elsewhere, with favourable winds, ventis, and gods, in another part with the gods and winds favourable, Agrippa. Remember Agrippa from the Blue Book? His friend, his closest and most loyal friend and general, and in fact son-in-law. In another part, with the gods and winds favourable, high, lofty Agrippa, high up Agrippa, leading the column. His brows, to whom, whose brows, fulgent, shine, with the whose brows shining with the beaked prows of the naval crown we have on 684, whose brows shining, his brows shining with the beaked prows rather of the navali corona, with the rostrata tempora. His brow shines with the beaked rostrata prows of the naval crown. Proud token, won in war, superbum insigne, the proud token of war. Hink, over here. There comes Antony with his barbaric might. Over here, there is Antony with his barbaric might and his wadis and his motley arms. Victorious over the nations of the dawn and the Red Sea. Victor ab, victor from the nations of the dawn and on the Red Sea. Bringing vehit, he brings with him Egyptum, Egypt, and the strength, vires, of the east, and farthest ultima, and farthest Bactra. Sequit, there follows him, Nephas, what a crime, his Egyptian wife, plenty to say about this person, the fame of her father, Cleopatra. Una, his Egyptian wife. All rush together, una, ruere, historic infinitive, all rush together at once, and the whole sea foams, and the ichor, and the totum, the whole sea, spumare, foams, convulsum, ripped up, torn up by the sweeping oars by the reductis remis, by the sweeping oars, and the rostris tridentibus, and the triple-pointed tridentibus beaks. They raced the deep, petunt alta. They raced to the deep. You might think that credas, you might think that the Cyclades were floating, that the Cycladas, you might think that the Cyclades were floating, uprooted, over the water, or that high mountains were clashing with other mountains, or that the high mountains were clashing with montibus, with mountains. In such huge ships, tanta mole, the men instant attacked. In such power, such huge ships, the men attacked. I can't see what I've written here. The men attacked from there. The men attacked the towered sterns. With such huge effort. Sorry, I'm just translating as we look through there. In such huge effort, the men attacked. Such huge effort, the men attacked with their sterns, with their towers. I was just trying to think if there was a better translation, but that's fine. Stupea, flama. Flaming bombs made of hemp. So there, flaming stupea, flames made of hemp, and tellum, shafts, tellis volatile ferrum, and shafts of winged steel are showered spargator from their hand. Flame made of hemp is these little bombs. Flamed hemp, and shafts made of winged steel scattered from their mano, from their hands. The fields of Neptune redden with strange slaughter. Ardua Neptunia rubescunt. The fields of Neptune grow red with new slaughter, with new blood. Regina, in the midst, in medis, in the midst, the queen calls upon her hosts. In the midst, the queen vocat calls her war columns with the native sistrum. This is this Egyptian musical rattle, foreign and frightening for the Romans to hear. Not yet does she cast back a glass at the twin snakes. Of course, she's going to kill herself with these snakes. And nor also does she cast back, does she turn around, does she cast back a glance at the twin snakes of the Geminos, Anguis, behind her. Monstrous gods, monstra, monstrous gods, monstrous forms of all the gods, and La Trator, and the Barkin Anubis, wield weapons, Tenent Terra, wield weapons against Neptune, and against Venus, and against Minerva. Very good, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow.